Origin Chance, and this is the Air Force is considering using B-21 for air-to-air combat, which is Sandboxx. Now what the hell? Okay, I don't know. It's a stealth bomber. It doesn't even have like a proper wings setup to be maneuverable, right? That's the whole point, right? That's why it looks like a flat disc. In order to have like this kind of nimble movement, you need those back V, like whatever it's called, right? I don't know. One of the reason it's so stealthy is because it doesn't have things like that, and because of that, it can't be nimble. So I don't know what the point is. Is the point is like they don't have to be nimble because that's what the air combat is now? Is that what the point is? But then again, that's like a weak point, isn't it? Like I get it. Like air combat is going to be different, right? Air-to-air combat is going to be long distance where you don't have to be. But what if you have to be in certain conditions? What if like all-out war, like world wars is happening and like every place is like somewhat of a war zone, and now you have to use some plane in the sky to create some kind of air dominance? It's not always going to be long distance thing. Like what if like you have some scenarios where you have to worry about close distance thing? At that point you're fucked. Just it feels like a like a massive gap if that's the case, right? You need something to fill that role. I don't know. So that's this one.
Could America's new stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider, also become its new stealth fighter? Now that's a question I first floated back in July when I posted a video called "Could the B-21 Absorb the Air Superiority Mission?" And today, I'm here to say I told you so, because just a few days ago, Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin said that is exactly what the Air Force is now considering, as the branch's next-generation air dominance fighter program, which was meant to replace the F-22 Raptor, is currently on hold, pending a complete reevaluation of its intended capabilities and, more importantly, its cost. Now, I realize it sounds nuts.
Oh my god, so that means NGAD is fucked. That's what the feeling I'm getting. Let's reevaluate its all capabilities. So let's think about what it's supposed to do completely, and let's think about how much it will cost. So it basically means let's think about everything. So they probably just decided like, can this for now? That's a big news to me, because I was like, oh, this is probably fixed. It's gonna come like next generation with the drones and things. But I guess like Sandboxx has said in the past, they're already doing that with F-35s. F-35 is already gonna become 6th generation in a way. Like what is a generation? 6th generation. Maybe they just think like we can just upgrade F-22, we can just upgrade F-35. Maybe we don't need this right now.
To use a bomber for a fighter's job, but it's important to understand that the line between these roles is getting blurrier every day, in large part because onboard systems are getting so much more capable and so much.
Yeah, see, this is just a flat disk. There's no whatever what it's called. I'm forgetting the name, but yeah, those things are not there, so it can't like make nimble movements. But I guess they're not planning for that.
Smaller. In fact, the new upgraded B-52J has a more capable and technologically advanced onboard radar than you'll find in just about any Russian fighter. Its AN/APG-79 active electronically scanned array radar is based directly on the APG-79 radar you'll find in the nose of the Navy's upgraded Super Hornets. And that means the only thing really stopping the B-52 from carrying air-to-air missiles is the relatively low cost of integrating them into its wiring buses and cultural inertia. And to be clear, it would be even easier to integrate air-to-air weapons into the B-21, which is already expected to carry them.
Okay, America's at this point like, we have seamless technology. Let's see how much seamless thing we can do with everything. B-52, B-21, fuck it, let's make everything, anything it is possible, right? B-52 is a fighter, fuck it. B-21 is a fighter. Can we do it? Yeah, so why not do it? I like that, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, in order to be something to be, is this proper or not, people make a lot of inefficient mistakes. If your whole job is to get the job done, and if you can find efficient way, however ridiculous it might seem, and if you get it right, that's your whole job, right? It's about efficiency. It's about, can you get it done or not? That's the whole point.
The most advanced intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and targeting suite of avionics ever affixed to a combat aircraft, meaning it already has all of the systems on board that it would need to leverage air-to-air weapons in combat. And more than that, it was also designed to fly at the center of a constellation of AI-enabled drone wingmen, just like the NGAD fighter. And that means the B-21 may not even need to engage other aircraft at all to fly the air superiority mission. It could literally send its drones after them instead. Now, the Air Force has openly stated that two of their priorities for their new stealth fighter would be greater range and greater payload, both of which the B-21 brings in.
This is insane. So it can be used as a mothership, while other drones can just attack things strategically. Obviously, like how much ammo can they carry? So strategically, like they can be used to attack things. A bomber do like a main mission of bombing something because it has an insane range and everything. It could be used as a unit. I've said that in F-35 video. Was it like insane engineering of F-35B? Like planes have always been used as a one type tool, like how tanks have been used. But now technology is getting at the point that they can be used as like how human soldiers are being used in a squad with multiple jobs. So this could be drones with a center mothership that is B-21. It could be used as a squad with multiple aims. So you can have like flying squad there, right? Because on sea, that is already the case with multiple ships and one center ship with a carrier and things. That is already happening, right? So I mean, it makes sense in that way. And obviously, like I said at the start of the video, if they do it like that, this thing cannot maneuver, right? So if there is a scenario in all-out war where it can maneuver, it's basically a big weak point. It's going to be fucked. But if a proper general uses it, like properly strategically, they have other things like B-20 and B-35 in certain roles, in certain places where you need to worry about nimbleness. They can just use that. This could be used in very strategic way as a bomber and a fighter.
Spades. In fact, not only would the B-21 have plenty of payload space to carry AIM-120 AMRAAMs, or even the forthcoming AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, but it may be the only stealth aircraft in the world that's large enough to carry the Navy's massive AIM-174B air-to-air missiles internally. In fact, it could probably carry as many as 10 of them on a rotary launcher, each of which could...
Wait a minute, don't Bone B-1 Lancer have like bigger payload? Can they carry even more?
Potentially engage airborne targets at ranges in excess of 300 miles. And importantly, the B-21 is designed to operate as the center hub for a modern kill web, meaning the B-21 could launch those missiles before its onboard systems could even detect the target, relying instead on target data being relayed by forward-advancing F-35s, CCA drones, and more. And interestingly, Northrop Grumman themselves have touted the B-21 as the world's first sixth-generation aircraft. Now, you guys know how I feel about fighter generational designations. They're mostly marketing malarkey, but they are specific to fighter aircraft, which makes it really weird that Northrop Grumman would use these generational designations to...
Yeah, but this is an internet age. This is the first of the planes. This is going to drop during the internet age. That's how big gaps are between different generations, different type of planes. In today's world, information and like publicity is everything. And like there are fads like this is AI, this is whatever, right? So generation has become this kind of a thing that you amp up. Oh, fifth generation planes. Oh, China has fifth generation. Oh, Russia has fifth generation. So there's really like, okay, generation is a thing that we can really tag onto something and amp up. So there you go, sixth generation B-21. I don't think they realize, oh, by the way, they might think about making this air-to-air one. I don't think they did that. But they're just like, oh, this fits the sixth generation thing, so might as well call it.
To describe their new bomber. That is, unless they were already pushing for this air-to-air job. And while the B-21 is certainly a subsonic aircraft, and that means nowhere near as fast as something like the F-22, its immense range could offset that weakness. We expect the B-21's unrefueled range to be somewhere north of 7,000 miles. And that would be vital in a conflict over the Pacific, where both think tank and DoD wargames repeatedly show American aircraft being destroyed on the tarmac at airbases all throughout the region by long-range Chinese cruise and ballistic missile strikes. Meaning the US either needs to significantly increase its air defense capabilities and its hardened aircraft structures all throughout the Pacific, or it needs to transition to aircraft that don't need to be based in the Pacific to strike China. Now, I want to be clear that even if this does happen, it wouldn't mean the B-21 would completely absorb the air superiority mission. It would instead bolster it, alongside aircraft like the Block 4 F-35 and its CCA, or AI-enabled drone wingmen, and whatever ultimately manifests from the Air Force's revised Next Generation Air Dominance program and the Navy's new stealth fighter program that now is positioned to potentially be the world's first operational sixth-generation fighter. Depending on, I guess, what you'd consider the B-21 to be, anyway.
See, the whole thing, I think F-22 is already too overpowered. I think F-22 upgrades they're thinking of is going to be enough of an overpower to work anywhere, anything. Not to mention F-35 is already overpowered in a lot of ways. Not to mention it can carry nuke, and the Block 4 that he talked about there with the drones and things. I don't think you need this. I think America's overdoing things, right? When you have like something like upgraded F-22, F-35, yeah. I guess there are like certain holes in the strategy that they're trying to fill with this. Like he said, like, okay, in these drills, China usually destroys all these planes and things on the ground from these bases that they know exist. So maybe you can just send this from mainland America to there type of way. But I don't know, it just feels like trying to prevent something very weirdly where you can have something else done. So F-22, F-35 is just going to be just like the powerhouse, right? But yeah, this is like a backup plan type of thing. Sure, why not? It's just insane. We are talking about bomber being an air-to-air combat. That's how insane technology has progressed. Since the Apollo mission, microchips have become such a good thing and such an efficient thing. The processes have become so insane that AI is slowly becoming way too much of a reality, like proper AI. And like accuracy of everything is becoming that and that better using lasers and everything. Their bomber can have accurate missiles on them that you don't need an air fighter, basically. Bomber is fine. Alright, well, if you like my next one, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.